Okay, next on our series of what holster to buy, we're dealing with leather holsters. And I'll start out by saying this is a very poor representation of the styles and variety of leather holsters that are out there. There's definitely a lot more than what we have on the table. This just happens to be what was available to us, so we thought we'd walk you through some of the different styles and features of them. To begin with, leather, great material, time tested, been used ever since there were firearms. Not the best material, but it's definitely not the worst material. And a lot of people really like it for its look. A lot of people, just feel more comfortable wearing leather. For a lot of purposes, people have gone past leather to some of the polymer products. We're not here to compare whether or not leather is good or bad. We're just looking at the leather items that we've got here on the table. I'm going to start out with this Revolver holster just to address that, for hunting, for open carry, a simple leather holster is great. I just don't happen to have the single action revolver that would fit in here. This is a simple style, not necessarily an old cowboy holster, but something that a modern person might wear with a modern single action revolver, again for hunting or just utilitarian type of carry around a ranch or something. Over on the left here we've got sort of the collectible, World War I, World War II style 1911 holster. It's a flap holster that protected the pistol, also kept it secure. Just uses this brass little rivet through the slit in the leather. The 1911 fits inside. Again, the flap comes down and covers it. Lasted a long time, fits on the belt, or a belt can go through the leather here. Again, these holsters lasted a long time, proved themselves. So just to show that, this along with some cowboy type of leather that's out there, lots of collectible leather out there. If you find a leather holster in an attic, hold on to it. A lot of times, they can add hundreds of dollars to the value of an old pistol. So we've covered the utilitarian type of stuff. Now let's get into the more CCW type of stuff. This is a couple of the inside the waistband, or excuse me, a couple of the outside the waistband, but in the small of the back type of holsters. And you'll notice that we have a couple of them here. This used to be, a way to carry, and for a small revolver, this was a really effective carry until I started going to more classes and learning more about it. But I personally used to carry in the small of the back with a small revolver like this. I just don't do it anymore. And you can see that when this holster was bought for a different revolver, it didn't even get much use. This is a Bianchi, another Bianchi. But this does show in something else about leather. This is basically the same holster, and I'd wager it's actually the same holster. Yeah, it's a number 5 and a number 5. This one's in black, and it's probably a lot closer to being new, and this one has definitely been used a bit. And when we're talking about leather, the material, when we think about a nice new leather holster, that's something, but we don't think about over time, what they turn into, and I think this is a good representation of that. Leather starts to wear, of course, it starts to shrink, it starts to tighten up, and as that happens, things curl, things get smaller. You can see that it's gotten quite a bit of sweat on it, so it's gotten discolored a little bit, if that's an issue for you. You can see that where it fits to the belt, I don't know how well that's going to come out in the video, but the holster's sort of taken the shape of the pistol, or excuse me, the revolver that was in it, and the shape of the person that was wearing it. So that's something to be aware of. The next thing, again, I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on the video, but if we look at the newer leather holster, it sort of stays open, it stays in its shape. Where the older leather holster, as it starts to wear, gets softer, gets more pliable. So where it's time to put that holster away, again in a situation like this where it's in the small of your back, so it's out of your visual line of sight, you have to reach back there, and having that nice opening is great, and for the beginning life of your holster that works well. But as you get older, or as the holster gets older, it's not such a precise fit anymore. And is that going to be as easy to find on the small of your back when it's worn and the leathers become more pliable? That's an issue sometimes. You'll notice that this is not the correct revolver for this holster, but it also doesn't cover the trigger very well. Even in the new one, the trigger is exposed. And again, this isn't a great representation, but it's something to be aware of. Next up, but this is an open or excuse me, an inside the waistband, right hand carry, and it's designed for the revolver to go inside. This one fits in here, but it's a little small. It would go then inside the pants. This would come out and go around the belt, and this is how much would be seen from the outside. It's got some nice snaps. It has had quite a bit of wear. So basically the belt would come through like this, and this would all be, this, my hand would be the pants, and this would be inside the waistband. Great, but when it comes time to draw that pistol, or the revolver in this case, that leather smashes right up, and now when you go to reholster, you know, again, it's not doing it justice. In real life, you'd probably be more familiar with this, but it's just not the same as a Kydex option, which is going to stay open and always be there, you know, as a place to put your firearm back. Not a big deal for some people, but it's a deal breaker for others. So it's something to be aware of about leather, especially on inside the waistband. Now this is another more modern, maybe, inside the waistband holster, and I found it when I was looking for a holster for the XD, in this case an XD45. I really like it. It fits right in. The trigger is completely protected. It does stick through a little bit. It was made for the XD Combat, I think, but it works great for this full-size XD45. Again, it fits in the inside the waistband. These come out. If my hand would be the pants, the belt would go through these two loops, and it would sit with just barely a forward cant. And again, once it's drawn, your body and the pressure of the belt is going to smash that back, but because of the way it's built with this flap of leather, it gives you a place to poke into and sort of push back into the holster. It also protects you from having the slide wear against you and the serrations on the slide cut into your gut while you're wearing it. Very comfortable holster. It was the only holster I could find for a while, but it works great. Another one that I had bought for the XD was this one, and it's also an inside the waistband. You can tell that it's offset a little bit with the rubber bushings here, and again, that's a big difference between these two. You can see that, again, because of the way the leather material behaves, it's sort of learned to stick out. This holster hasn't been worn a lot, but it's been worn enough that these belt loops are sticking out because they're being forced out, you know, apart. Where this one has these rubber bushings, which, you know, are now in my hand, again, representing the pant line. The holster goes inside the pants, inside the waistband, and now because of that offset, there's a lot less stress on this leather. And again, that's all anybody might see from the outside, on the outside of the belt. But again, the nice forward cant on the belt line, and for the XD, real comfortable holster for the XD. The only problem I had is because it only had the one anchor point, it was a little less comfortable for me personally, just the way, shape of my body or whatever. Didn't wear it too much, but I kept it around because if I do carry the XD, this is the holster I'd want to wear with it. Next up is a paddle holster. So this is sort of a hybrid between a Kydex material or a polymer or plastic type material and then the true leather. And this one's made by Aker. Real high quality holster company. Lot of features, again, the bushing so that there's not so much stress on the leather, the good engineering, good designs. And this one was actually for a Sig220, but I find that for my large frame pistols like my Glock 22 here, will fit in there pretty decent. And sometimes, you know, if I'm wearing open and I just want to have a nice looking holster on, a very secure holster, a little more to what I'm familiar with my Kydex paddles that I wear, like this Phobos. This Aker, you know, feels a lot like a Kydex holster for me. Has a real simple thumb brake with reinforced metal strip there. Again, Aker knows what they're doing. They've been building high quality holsters for a long time. So real easy to get a nice grip on that pistol, plus that thumb brake. And it's a bit tight because it's made for a Sig and not for a Glock. But when this is anchored to my pants, not too hard to draw. And if I remember correctly, it'll work fairly decent with the 1911 as well. Just a little looser, again, because it's made for a Sig. But again, if I'm looking for I got this one at a good deal at a gun show once. So if you're looking, if I'm looking to wear something that looks nice and I want to carry open, for example, the NRA dinner, the NRA meeting we have once a year, we all like to wear open. This is a nice option for that. And that's definitely something that leather provides. That's something even like this fairly new Kydex just isn't going to provide. This is going to look, it just doesn't look the same as a nice high quality piece of leather. Similar to that is another Hi-Bred. This is another small of the back, made for a revolver. So, and the revolver fits in a nylon holster, but that nylon holster is affixed to a leather piece, a leather strip, or leather shape, a shape of leather that allows the holster to come through. In this case, the belt line would run about like this, so very almost horizontal to the ground, but a good easy thumb break. You get the advantages of a nylon holster with the advantages of leather, which is in this case strength and basically function. You can't get nylon to hold up in a flat plane like this, where leather can do it for quite a while. And the disadvantage of leather, that it starts to lose its shape after a amount of time. This, you unscrew the Kydex part, which is going to last forever, and put the new piece of leather back on it. I'm assuming that's part of the design concept here. Again, this was great when I used to like behind the back holsters, but I just don't wear them like that anymore, so this one hasn't gotten a lot of use. Another inside the waistband. This one uses just a metal clip with a piece of Kydex for the thumb break. And this one's sort of a one-size-fits-all, small frame, I'm guessing pistol, just because of the square shape. Typically revolvers are going to be more of an organic or a round shape. So I'm going to try it with this Kel-Tec P380, which is pretty much what I bought it for, although I can honestly say I've never worn it. I just bought it with the with the intent of using it with this P380. It does cover the trigger just fine. It looks like, again, this would be inside the waistband, so this is just going to come over your pants and belt. It looks like it'd be a tad uncomfortable, but because this is such a small pistol and a lightweight pistol, I don't think this would be very uncomfortable. It would just be mildly uncomfortable. I'm sure you get used to it. Real easy thumb break, ability to get a good grip on the pistol grip, so it's a decent holster, just one I haven't actually gotten to use ever. So again, these are some, and then this again, hopefully they'll demonstrate that almost, very thin pieces of leather here, whereas like this Aker, is a very thick piece of leather. And again, that all determines, how malleable the holster is going to be, how long it's going to last, how fast it's going to turn from this into this. So leather holsters and what holster to buy. I hope I definitely didn't answer your question with buy this holster. We're not trying to sell one or the other, but wanted to give you some idea of what to look for in a leather holster over other materials or compared to other holsters.